Hi, I'm Paul from Socially Powerful Media, and sorry really is the hardest word, especially if your name is Mark Zuckerberg. In 2014, I spoke at an event about the digital future. Always fun to do a bit of futurology, as no one knows you wrong until years later. One of the areas I touched on was privacy. Back then, I shared the fact that several people had lost their jobs because they posted some photos and videos on social media. You know the kind of thing, a photo when they were drunk, a video when they were partying hard. Their employers had seen it, thought it crossed some kind of line, tarnished their business, and so fired them. I also shared that Google and Microsoft were collaborating to protect the privacy of children, and that Google had encrypted search data and were deleting historical data too. I informed the assembled audience that the EU had issued cookie directives, but despite all these things, I boldly predicted a coming privacy storm. Well, my friends, it seems the storm has hit. I believe the more technology entwines and becomes entwined with our world, the more we want digital experiences to mirror those we have in real life. In the physical world, we can choose very simply what we share with people, who we're friends with, what we keep private, and what we make public. What we want is the digital world to be the same. We want to make permanent the things we want to keep and delete the things we'd perhaps rather forget. And that's hard. We want to create multiple identities that reflect all our personas. The professional self, the fun self, the studious self. 2014 was the year the WikiLeaks national security spying scandal really broke. And that put privacy high on the agenda, and this week's Facebook privacy issue will push it to the top and firmly into the public consciousness. I feel Facebook's massive personal data leak will take data privacy out of the hands of companies and into the hands of legislators, and that concerns me a little too. Perhaps brands should prepare for the worst. So let's look at Facebook and the privacy storm they face. We at Socially Powerful view Facebook a little like a road, and the Facebook users as the cars, trucks, towns and destinations along the way. It's a network world where Nike, Coca-Cola, Cambridge Analytica, you and me all work and play. We willingly give personal data to Google and Apple every day. We've also enabled Facebook to have equally personal access to our data. Facebook have created an ecosystem that enables third parties to offer us personalized services based upon the profile data we have authorized, either explicitly or implicitly. So are we saying that Facebook is just a medium and as such perhaps should be absolved of all responsibility around maintaining user privacy? Absolutely not. But we are saying it's a shared responsibility. A responsibility for privacy shared amongst platform providers like Facebook, brands, governments, and of course individuals. Where Facebook went wrong is simple to describe. They just weren't open about the personal data they, their partners and third parties were collecting and how it was being used. Also, perhaps they didn't do enough to make it easier for us to control the use of our personal data, or perhaps do enough in policing the behaviours of their partners like Cambridge Analytica. That is a breach of trust that they weren't alone. In 2018, we expect a fair trade, something for something. If companies are using our personal data, we want to know about it and we want something in return. Personal experience, a discount, a deal, something of real value. It's becoming impossible for Facebook's and brands generally to hide the fact that they collect personal data. More and more advertising and content is highly targeted. Consumers are increasingly aware that what they do online is not only captured, but it's worth a lot to brands. Influencers know that. The Facebook issue this week has taken us to a crucial point, a point where we consider the value of our data and will seek more ways to control where it goes. A few years ago, there was a buzzword, VRM, Vendor Relationship Management. It's like CRM in reverse. It's died away as of a buzzword, but the principle of people being in control of their own personal information, knowing which brands want to use it and for what, and people then deciding to share it on their terms with the brands they trust, will surely grow after this Facebook debacle. So what should come out of this situation? Well, an apology, transparency and empowerment for consumers. Mr. Zuckerberg has started with an apology And there are probably other businesses and leaders that should apologise too. Platforms like Facebook must be totally transparent about the use of personal data, not bury things away in 200-page long T's and C's that no one reads. They must be crystal clear about what is going on. They should empower users and make it very easy for us to control the use of our data. Really, the ongoing data breaches from retailers, financial services, credit companies, and now digital platforms must be managed. And governments, well, they probably do need to act, encourage, and maybe even enforce consumer protection. I just hope this is done with legislation that doesn't create terrible user experiences for us all. That's our take on it. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below, or perhaps reach out to us at Socially Powerful Media. Have a great day, and you too, Mr. Zuckerberg.